Anti-ICE rioters continuing their siege in Portland, Oregon, an immigration facility there. This was last night. Officials say this has been going on nearly every single night for the last 100 nights. Conservative journalist Nick Sortor was in Portland on Wednesday night and saw things spiraling.
This is America. This is America. This is America. This is America.
Get him! Touch him! Get him, too!
Yeah, they put those words on their signs, too. So classy. Here's what Nick posted on X. Degenerates outside the ICE facility in Portland surround me and promise to F my effing mouth open, whatever that means. I have a feeling it's going to be a long weekend out here. Please send in the guard, President Trump. Well, last night was indeed a long one for Nick Sortor. He says when he returned and began filming, he was surrounded by rioters who pushed him and started throwing punches. He said he tried to disengage and sought refuge near local police, but they arrested him. He and two other rioters were charged with disorderly conduct. Let's go to Bill Melugin, who is in Portland right now. And look, Bill, I know you caught up with Nick Sortor after his release this morning. What did he tell you?
Yeah, Harris, good afternoon to you. We did talk to Nick pretty much minutes after he was released from jail this morning, so we asked him what went down last night. What he told us is he was out here filming protesters as they were getting maced by federal agents, and he said it was a little embarrassing for the protesters because they were shrieking and crying about having the mace in their eyes, so they didn't like being recorded. So they kind of chased him down the street a little bit, then surrounded him and pushed him down into a flower bed. He says they then punched and assaulted him, and he tried to defend himself. Take a listen.
So they threw multiple punches at me. They broke my camera by hitting that. So I was on the ground at that point. I tried to swing. I missed. I saw the opportunity to get up and get away. And that's when I went over to the police officers, which I thought, you know, maybe they'd help me. But no, instead they threw me in handcuffs. This is going to backfire on them tremendously. It already is, okay? People knew that something out here stunk and that it was corrupt and that the police they take the side of the violent criminals that are here every single day, assaulting ICE officers, assaulting journalists. And then a reporter comes and, you know, tries to embed deep within the chaos that's going in out here, and he's the one that gets arrested.
And Nick went on to say he got a personal phone call from Attorney General Pam Bondi informing him that DOJ is launching a full investigation into the Portland Police Bureau in relation to his arrest out here last night. But it doesn't stop there. DHS also giving their reaction to this, announcing that as a result of this arrest, DHS is going to be surging CBP and ICE here to Portland. And the city of Portland was already unhappy with how much ICE was out here in the first place. All of this happening in the context that the National Guard is being deployed out here. They just haven't shown up yet, guys. We'll send it back to you.
You know, he's really fortunate. He wasn't hurt in all of that when you talk about the property damage that he suffered, and now the feds are looking into it. Bill Melugin, great reporting as always. Thank you. Look, Griff, you've been on the story of ICE detention centers being protested, and you've seen some of this. You were in Illinois. Talk to us.
Well, look, let's start with where Bill Melugin is. In Oregon, you already have Tina Kotek, the Oregon governor, out there resisting, saying that they want to suit a block for the National Guard from coming in. And you've seen most of the Oregon Democrat leaders resisting ICE's crackdown and federal law enforcement. But yet you look at the scenes of the past 100 nights, it looks like Democrats have chosen, and Oregon's governor, to literally say, we're going to defend our violent rioting. And in this case, assaults on this conservative journalist. It's beyond me how it is that Democrats arrive at that destination. But in Illinois, they got there too. J.B. Pritzker has done little to stop what we're seeing out there. And you know, Harris, I was out there on day one of Operation Midway Blitz, riding along with ICE's Deputy Director, Madison Sheehan. The very first illegal alien criminal we arrested was convicted last year of forcibly assaulting a child under 13. Convicted of it. We went and arrested him without incident, and we took him to Broadview. In the days after those first couple of days, they had to beef up the security because the protests keep coming out. And what really shook me, Harris, that is a cause for alarm across all partisan lines is just 48 hours after we saw that attack on the Dallas ICE facility, we saw this crowd in Broadway, Illinois, chanting, "Shoot ICE, kill ICE." It's got to be, where are the Democrat leaders demanding, not calling, demanding that the rhetoric pipe down and a cooperative federal and local law enforcement effort to tap down these riots from Oregon to Illinois and everywhere else?
Look, I said it with Nick Sortor just moments ago, blessed that nothing happened to him. I mean, there's a reason why state police and local police are joining the ICE agents and are willing to use non-lethal weaponry against these people. When it gets out of control, it's unpredictable. You don't know what will happen. You know, Alicia, some of this is free speech, what they say, however disgusting. Violence is not protected by anything.
No, and Camilla Momsley, she's the director of the ICE office in Portland. She said that a lot of times these protest groups of 50 people can very quickly become 1,000. They have 20 officers there. Swarming, 20 officers, they can't protect the building. And so the question is, when you have Portland police who aren't responding because city leaders are saying they can't, the question becomes, did you see what happened in Dallas? Did you see the attack that happened at the Dallas ICE office? There were 2 detainees who were killed, but the people who were being targeted was ICE. And now we're looking at the Chicago area. We're looking at Portland. We saw what happened in Dallas. What's it going to take to protect American citizens, regardless of whether or not they're wearing a federal uniform?
You know, and Kayleigh, when you were in the White House with President Trump as his press secretary, doing a fabulous job, I might add.
Thank you.
Always. And now we get that from you. You know, I remember on days when he would promise that things would be out of control if he didn't do some of the stuff he was doing. He's watching this, and he is now deploying and having troops deployed where they need to go so that ICE agents can do with it. You just heard CBP is part of this now.
Yeah. President Trump had to send federal agents to Portland as the courthouse was being attacked there, federal property, because what was happening? Well, what was happening was glass bottles, chunks of concrete thrown at federal law enforcement, feces, balloons filled with paint, pig's feet, slingshots to hurl ball bearings and batteries at federal agents. That was happening in 2020. And what's interesting is I was listening to the head of Portland ICE there, and it's so many of the same tactics. She said bottle rockets are striking the ICE building. I mean, this is similar to much of what we saw in 2020, the swarming effect. And she also noted that around the ICE facility, it's like there's a bubble that police are not going in. And on the outside of the bubble are 2 liaison officers, because they're really going to diffuse the situation, not police, liaison officers. Nick Sortor, I agree with you, very lucky, very blessed to be here. He was swarmed by individuals. He was there doing his job so we could get images like this. I'll be interviewing him exclusively tomorrow.
Excellent.
I can't wait for that. But thank goodness he's out of jail. Why did police arrest him? These are huge questions.
So, Donna, what happens next in all of this legally?
Well, legally, for Nick, I think it's going to show that they absolutely had no right to arrest him. I think he will probably end up suing that police department, and hopefully this will not continue. He has a right to be there. He has a right to take the videos and do the independent review that he's doing for all of us to see. So I definitely think that in the end, it will work out well for him in terms of how it resolves itself. But what happened was awful. The fact that we are arresting the good guys and the bad guys are going free is a overwhelming umbrella in terms of what's happening in our law enforcement world and in a lot of our cities these days. And we're watching it happen. I'm grateful to see Illinois State Police helping out. I'm grateful to see local police helping out. That's an area that when I was a prosecutor, I was part of that Broadview town. So I'm happy to see that they're out there doing their jobs. That is what they have to do. They have to protect all of us, and they have to protect the ICE agents. They have to protect the citizens. They have to protect even the people out there that are protesting.
Yeah.
You know, they're not all doing bad things. So law and order is what needs to happen out there.
You know what's interesting about that, too? We've had reporting even from you, Griff, that have said they've taken weapons off of some of the people who were so-called protesting. Like, not everybody goes to a protest to protest. Some people go there just to be rioters and to cause havoc. And if you're among that, you're in danger, too.
Well, just to add to that, remember when we saw out that raid on the pot farm in California and things that the protesters turned violent, we did see what appeared to be a gun being shot wildly into the area, which clearly puts ICE at great risk. Look, I talk to ICE every single day. It's a beat that I still continue to cover, report on, and I am telling you, they have never felt concerned. They've never felt so threatened, particularly with these apps too that put their locations out there. Ultimately, Todd Lyons, the acting director of ICE, says his biggest fear is that one of his agents could lose their life.
Yeah, I was reading today a couple of those apps have taken down, and I'm looking for it now. Apple has taken down, good, I found it right away, takes down ICE tracking apps after pressure from the Department of Justice. So that happened. Like that's been part of our news flow in the last 24 hours. And so we should get that into the bloodstream. But that's not everybody's. That's Apple, right? Look, something we don't have time to talk about is this becomes a midterm issue now.
Yeah.
With a lot of receipts, a lot of video, all of it, because we're moving into that season for 2026. This is going to be interesting if Republicans win again on issues around immigration.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.